We have about 120 birds on this station, and that is the entire population in the world of Mississippi sandhill cranes. We were down to maybe 20 or 30 birds in this area. It was isolated subpopulation. And through captive breeding and reintroductions and breeding successes here, the population has risen to its present level of about 120 birds. The adjacent areas that they visit to forage in are very important, and the Pascagoula River Basin in itself is very important for a lot of other species. A lot of migratory birds use it as a travel corridor. So everything kind of joins together. They link the areas and make places where they can, a lot of animals can use as stopovers and travel.
The Pascagoula is, by all accounts, a story of great success. However, in nearby areas, logging and development and the breaking of the natural river cycle has devastated ecosystems and resulted in significant loss of species. Prior to the 90s, water quality of the Pascagoula River was impaired with improperly treated discharges from industries and towns in the basin. It took significant efforts by the state to eliminate the major sources of pollution. Today, though the water quality of the river is healthy, much remains unprotected, and the entire region hangs in a precarious balance.
Well, this is really the kind of thing we want to try to minimize, at least right in the main riparian areas of the river. This would have been a super emergent tree in this forest. Now, we tried to raise money to purchase this tract a couple years ago, and we couldn't get enough funding together to purchase it outright. Since that time, the tract has been logged, and although it has sustained a fair bit of damage in that process, there's a lot we can get in here and do real quickly to help stem tide of invasive plant species, invasive weeds, and work to get the hydrology in better shape.
Challenges remain and will continue. In the Pascagoula Basin, communities are forging alliances to ensure future development doesn't compromise habitat along tributaries upstream or in marshes and bottomlands downstream.
I think we have learned from our mistakes. There's now adequate information and adequate interest that even in Mississippi, people are paying attention and people are beginning to understand and appreciate what is here, and therefore the ability to make decisions which would have a positive impact on the future.
The opportunities for recreation are incredibly diverse and varied in this system. You can go all the way to a very small headwater stream and take a canoe and float down the entire river to the ocean. That's a rare and unique opportunity in the United States. But it's one of the few places, it probably maybe is the only place in the United States where it's possible to go all the way from the very top to the very bottom and see a natural system intact.
A lot of people love to just get out in nature, and because across our nation those natural areas are diminishing, we feel like the Pascagoula in its natural state should be able to be a huge draw for people to come bird watching, for people to come look for turtles, for people to come just take swamp tours, for people to come spend their money. It will benefit the pocketbooks of the local citizens, but you got to keep the natural area in the state that it is, or else there's nothing significant about it and it won't draw the people. Right now it's significant. We've got a lot that we could offer to people and tourists and sightseers, but we got to keep it that way in order to be able to capitalize on that resource.
The Pascagoula remains one of America's most natural river habitats. Remaining ever vigilant, however, will also be a legacy of this river.
Yeah. Graham, welcome home.
It is great to be here.
I'm always concerned that for some reason a legislator might try to raise money by cutting down some of those trees. Who knows what the future will bring? There's always pressure to develop on both sides.
Agriculture, runoff, industrial pollution. There's so many potential threats to that ground.
And Herman's not there to watch it anymore. But I know there are a lot of good people who are beginning to organize around the river, up and down. They've formed a new alliance of all the communities, and they'll keep their eye on it.
The Pascagoula is alive and healthy, flowing freely with the natural cycles of life. It is a part of our heritage that will only become more valuable if we just allow it to continue to flow naturally.
I love this old river and this swamp. It's part of me. It's always been part of me and always will be. I want it taken care of.